Old School Runescape is a vast game with a lot of lore, yet many players skip some of it altogether. So in this series, I'm planning to shed some light on those stories by reading some of RuneScape's books, to learn what they have to tell. Welcome to OSRS Lore Library. Today we'll be reading The Fall of Imcandoria, also known as Imcandoria's Fall. This book can be found in the Library of the Myths Guild on the bookshelves after completing Dragon's Lair 2. If lost, it can be reclaimed there or from your player-owned house bookshelf, as with many of the books in the lore library. According to the Wikipedia page, you can use the book on Freya down in the Myths Guild, as well as Thurgo, at least one of the last Imcando Dwarves still alive. And they'll have some unique dialogue to kind of go over the book itself. So we'll take a look at both of those near the end of the video, also after we've read the book. And here is Imcandoria's Fall. I, High Seer Goldbrand of the Isle Galmer, have assembled various entries detailing the fall of Imcandoria. I leave this tome in the entrance hall of our great necropolis. Heed my warning, reader, and do not travel into that frozen wasteland. All that awaits is death. 6/19/19/9/17. One of the acolytes discovered a strange idol along the beach today. It has the oddest marking scratched upon it, much akin to the runic rocks of the Ferminic. The elders of Imcandoria will know what to do with such a relic, so the other seers and I have agreed that it will be sent to them immediately. 6/19/19/13/0. It's been 2 moons since we sent the idol away, and the storms have turned increasingly ferocious. We have gone below, into the lower necropolis, hoping to seek refuge in the Forge of Giants. 6/19/19/13/5. The Giants allowed us to stay in their domain. However, our time here is limited by our food stores, for no edible food can be produced in these horrible depths. In 3 moons we will return to the surface and attempt the journey into Imcandoria. There we will begin our search for answers. The Giants have seen omens of death in the forges and have suggested we go with reinforcements. They've given us a bright, fiery jewel that we can use to bargain with the Ospa tribes around Imcandoria. 6/19/19/17/19. The city is empty. There are sounds coming from the temple. We approach with caution. 7/0/0/0/0. The temple was a scene from a nightmare. Piles of bodies, pools of blood. A large globulous mass sat hungrily on a throne of oily black rock. A shock of tendrils capped with claws dangled above its 3 pulsing, bulbous eyes. The elders circled the creature, chanting incantations in a strange, unknown tongue, covered head to toe in a mixture of blood and thick black sludge. They paid us no attention until the creature noticed our presence and began screaming. A fight soon broke out, and the temple quickly turned into a blaze, the flames licking the ceiling. The harsh cackle from the elders as they burned pierced our minds with unimaginable terror. We're none the wiser of how that thing came to be, but that idol must have been far older than we first assumed. 7/0/0/0/3. We fled back to the Isle of Garmer. We have suffered many losses, but the storm is quieted, and thus returning home was far easier. All the land surrounding Imcandoria is now blanketed with a very thick layer of snow. It shows no sign of change, and thus we must leave. Interesting one, folks. That seems to tell the tale of the fall of the Imcando Dwarves and their home. If you were confused by all the weird numbers, the trivia on the Wikipedia page for this book actually says that the dating system employed in the book, which is the numbers, seems to correspond with the Mesoamerican calendar. Also, the book presents the end of the Imcando civilization as lining up with the transition from the 6th to 7th, the Ba'aktun cycle of the Mesoamerican long count calendar, with the dwarves encountering this terrifying monster at the moment that the new period begins, the 7/0/0/0/0. This may be inspired with the real-life Mayan calendar and how it was popularly believed to predict the end of the world on December 21st of 2012, which obviously did not happen. But unlike that, it seems the Imcando Dwarves end actually did happen. Sorry. Okay, so we've gone back down to the floor of the Myths Guild, and we're going to talk to Freya here. Actually, you know what? I guess we should use the book on Freya here. So we're going to go ahead and use the book on Freya, and she's going to say, "Ah, so you found my latest donation to the guild. What do you think? Spooky, isn't it?" To which your character responds, "Just a bit. Is it the original text? It doesn't look that old." Freya responding, "Oh, Gothics no. These texts were inscribed in rock paper in a tome even I struggled to lift. The writer left it there as a warning, and I assume they didn't want it to be moved." Our character then asks her if she translated it. Freya says that she certainly tried. Perhaps there are some date inconsistencies and a few words that she had to guess at. She said that she'd found a lot of scrolls detailing trade with early Ferminic tribes as well, which certainly helped with the translations. Your character follows up with a question. Imcandoria, do you think that's where the Imcando Dwarves originate? To which C says, it certainly seems reasonable. Your character says, interesting, and it's the end of the conversation. Interesting indeed. So we'll go talk to Thurgo next, because he is, as we already stated, one of the last living, or possibly the last living Imcando Dwarf. Alright, watch this buttery smoothness here. Boom, keep going. Man, so good at the game. Except I went to Doric instead of Thurgo. God damn it. So here we are, going back to Thurgo now. Gonna go ahead and use Imcandoria's Fall on him, to which we ask, what do you make of this, Thurgo? We hand the book over momentarily and Thurgo reads it quickly. He responds, who wrote this? It seems new. Your character starts to speak, but they're cut off. Never mind, if you ever plan on going back to this island, I'll happily come along. Thurgo interrupts. Your character awkwardly responds, so you believe it could possibly lead to the ancient ruins of your race, you ask. With Thurgo responding, I'll believe it when I see it. Now be gone, I've got things to do. Your character simply responds, alright Thurgo, I'll see you later. And that's the end of the conversation. Another interesting one. Kinda implies that we might have some involvement with the Imcando Dwarves or their lost civilization in a future quest, and seems like Thurgo will be along for the ride if that's the case. Stay tuned for the next one. This is actually one book out of several that you unlock from doing Dragonslayer 2 that are found within the Myths Guild, so I was actually planning to continue onto those next. One of them is more of a poem or a song than an actual book. I don't know if we're really going to give that one its own episode. We might just tack it on to the end of one of the other ones. But we'll see. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This has been Worst. See you in the next one.